Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wyoming Knits YouTube channel. My name is Jenny Lee and this is my channel where I like to talk about all the things that I've been knitting on over the past week. Today is Sunday, May 10th, 2026, and this is episode 138. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. It has been a beautiful sunny day here in southwest Wyoming. The sun is shining, I have the window open and the birds are chirping out there. Every once in a while I can hear the cows. So today is just a beautiful day to celebrate Mother's Day. I have some admin stuff that we're going to take care of at the beginning, and then we'll jump into what I'm wearing, what I finished, and what I have been knitting on. So the first thing is the Cowboy yarn crawl is coming up. It will start Memorial Day and go through Labor Day, and it is the 9 yarn shops in Wyoming. I'll put a graphic right up here so you can see where all the shops are located. I will have all their information linked in the description box below. So the yarn crawl is coming up. It will last all summer, so you have time to visit all of them if you want to do the yarn crawl. Then we have some make-alongs that I'm participating in. Those will be linked in the description box. If you hit the more button and then more again and then scroll down to the bottom, those are all of the make-alongs that I am participating in right now or this year. And then above that will be all of my project pages, the yarn, where you can buy the yarn and where you can go visit the bag makers that I show. So everything should be linked in the description box below for you of everything I talk about today. If I forget to mention something, leave me a comment and I will answer your question as soon as possible. Most of my yarn and needle sizes and size of the item that I'm making should be linked on my project page if I forget to mention that. So let's jump in with where you can find me. You can find me on Instagram as Jenny Lee Knits, and you can find me on Ravelry as Jenny Lee S Knits. And today I am wearing my Market Henly. This is a pattern by Clair Jackson. It's got the buttons. I think I need to do something different with these buttons right here because I think they might be too small for my buttonhole because they just pop right open again. So I might be needing to change my buttons. But I used Happy Mermaid Yarn Co. in the color Cauldron Brewing. I saw this color and I said, ooh, I need a sweater out of that. So it's got the green and the black. Sometimes some blips of red. I love green. Green is my favorite color. This is a fun texture pattern to do. It's I want to say a 3-row repeat or a 2-row repeat. I can't remember. I knit this over a year ago, so it was pretty fun to work on. It kept you motivated to do the next row on all of the sections. So it went by pretty fast and I love it. It's comfy, it's lightweight because it's fingering weight yarn, but it keeps you warm. So that is what I'm wearing. My project page will be linked in the description box below. Let's talk about what I finished today. I did finish my Love Light blanket. It is no longer on the needles. I did add one more color. I added my Mama Jess Knits 2025 January color because it kind of looked Christmassy to me. And so I added that in on the very end. I just did a very loose bind off. I did knit 2 together through the back loop on the bind off so it was stretchy. I have not blocked this. I did weave in all my ends, so it is this wide, and when I put it on the ground, when the bottom hits the ground, it goes up to about my belly button. So this will be a nice lap blanket to throw on this summer when I'm in shorts and I want something to cover my legs because of the air conditioning. I think I'm gonna block this. I love the texture though. It's almost like a zigzag. So I love this pattern. I would make it again. This is the Love Light blanket by Jennifer, and I don't know how to pronounce her last name. It is up here. And I used my Scrappy Advent that I got last winter in December, and I opened all of the colors and put them in. I started with day 1 and went all the way to day 24, and then I added in this fun Christmas yarn from Mama Jess. So I would remember that this was a Christmas Advent. I don't think I would forget that this is a Christmas Advent though, because I enjoyed opening every single day and I love it. If I did it again, I would, I think the width is probably good. I would do it again with like a maybe full skeins or 50-gram minis, and do like a pattern, like 4 or 5 colors, maybe 6 colors, and just repeat the colors and make it longer, I think. Or even like a, no, because I like the stripes. You could do a scrappy version and not do the stripe in between where you change colors, but I do like that stripe. You could do a scrappy version where you just held your scraps and just knit the whole time. That would be fun in this pattern. In the pattern it says do so many rows, then add your next color, do one stripe down and back, and then do your other color down and back, and then switch to your new color. That was pretty fun, like just knitting until it's time for that next color. When you're doing stripes is motivating to get to the next color, keep going, let's just get to the next color, and then you can put it down. So I'm going to enjoy this blanket. Thank you for the Advent, and I'm gonna be using this a lot this summer. In the summer we put in a air conditioning unit in the window in the living room, and where we have my rocking chair, my recliner set up is right across from the window, and so the air conditioner blows right towards my chair, and I hate the cold. I hate cold air blowing on me. I don't like it. It gives me a headache when my ears get too cold and my neck gets too cold. I don't like cold air blowing on my arms, so I'm always wearing long sleeves. So I take all my knitting stuff from downstairs and I move it all upstairs, and I come up here and I have my TV over here and I watch YouTube or binge watch some show and just sit and knit up here, and then I stare at all the yarn and think, ooh, I want to make, ooh, I want to make, ooh, can I start? No, I gotta finish. So that's always fun in the summer when I get to come up here and just look at all the yarn all day long. So this will be a nice blanket to just throw over my legs if they start to get a little chilly while I'm up here. And I think I'm going to enjoy this so much. So I would recommend this pattern. Can't remember what needle size I used. It will be in my my Ravelry project page. So that is finished, and it was 400 something grams out for May. So starting off with a nice big project, 4 grams out for May, and that is the only thing I finished. Right now I am really, excuse me, I am really on a let's get this finished so I can start some new projects. So I have been trying to work on some things like consistently, and I've tried to add in some different things as I finished. So let's talk about works in progress. My first work in progress is living in this Knit for Brains bag. And it is a Yarnable color from December 2024. And I am doing the String of Lights by Sock Witchery. I think last time I showed it, I forgot to move my progress keeper. I think last time I showed it, I was working on the heel though. I was just about ready. I had one more row of the heel flap to go and do the heel turn and then pick up my gusset stitches. So I'm going to move this right now so I don't forget. So I did about this much. These are socks for my sister-in-law. I wanted to finish these for Mother's Day, but that did not happen because this is still the first sock. I have this sock and another sock that I'm making for my 2 sister-in-laws, and they will now be for probably for Christmas, unless I decide to just go ahead and give them to them next time I see them. So I started this sock with a German twisted cast on. I cast on 64 stitches onto a size 0 Chowgu 9-inch circular needle, and I knit a 2x2 ribbed cuff for 20 rounds, and then I started in on the String of Lights pattern, and I did 70 rounds for the leg, and then I started working on the foot after I did a slip stitch heel flap. This is not the pattern called, or not the heel flap called for in the pattern. It is the heel flap in the Crazy Sock Ladies Vanilla Socks on 9-inch circulars pattern. It's really easy just to put that heel in to whatever socks you're working on, and then I will knit a few more rows until I get to the toe. And I think size 0 2mm Chowgu red lace 9-inch circular needles. I think that is all the information on the socks. Oops, kicked the tripod. So those will get worked on every once in a while. They might take a break for a little bit. I have 2 people at work that I want to make socks for, and we have less than a month left. We have about 3 weeks left. And I want to make 2 pairs of socks, so I really need to get on that if I'm going to make those socks. Then the next thing I worked on was this sweater. This is a bag my cousin made. She does not have a website where she makes bags. She just made this because her mom asked her to. And this is my No Frills sweater by Petite Knit. I'm using Lion Brand Scarfie Light in the color Tiger Lily. And this is my 3rd skein. I had to connect the 3rd skein about partway through the ribbing on the bottom. So I finished the body and I have started the first sleeve. So I have my Twice Sheared Sheep row counter and my light bulb stitch markers. This is how many decreases I have to do to get to the amount of stitches I need at the bottom of the sleeve. And this counts my rows for me, and I decrease on the round indicated, and I put in a stitch marker for every decrease that I do, and that helps me keep track, and then I can do the second sleeve the same way. I'm making, I want to say, the 2nd size, and I'm using Chow red lace interchangeables. These are the 3-inch tips for small circumference, and I think this is the 8 or 12-inch cord, like one of the smallest ones you can get for the small size cord. So I like to do my sleeves on the small, and then I use my mini set for the sleeves, and I usually use the 3-inch tips. It comes with 3-inch and 2-inch, and I usually use a 3-inch. Sometimes if it starts to get a little the circumference gets smaller and it gets a little tighter, I will switch out one of the tips for the 2-inch. I do like the length of the 3 when I'm holding it and knitting. So every once in a while I will switch out to the 2-inch on one side, just so I still have enough needle to hold on the other side. And then these stitch stoppers, I'm pretty sure I got in my Twice Sheared Sheep Advent from 2 years ago. I did order that Advent for it this year. And so now this is just ready for sleeves, and it shouldn't take that long to finish. I'm excited to have this. I love how this is working in almost stripes, but just blips of color. I think that's fun, and it'll be a fun sweater to wear this fall and this winter when school starts again. So that is my first sweater that I worked on this week. Then I picked up this one. This is a Fates Thread bag. Fates Thread is no longer making bags. I'm using, let's not drop the bag. using Yarn Cafe Creations in the color Prickly Pear. And this is my third skein. I have 5. I have 2 more, excuse me, 2 more in the bag. And this one is all I have left. I've used 2. And I was right here last time. I added in, you can almost see where I added in the next skein. This is the Anacortes Pullover by Michele Fraz Knits, who is Michele Frazzetta. She does have a YouTube channel, but it is a 2x2 broken rib pattern with twisted rib stitches that go along the raglan line and down into underneath. So this, I am done with all the increases and decreases, and I'm going to knit in pattern all the way around for a few more inches, and then do some ribbing and then pick up the sleeves. This will probably be something I take into the summer months with me to work on. I'm making the second size. These are Chowgoo interchangeables, and this is the size 5, 4-inch tips. US 5s, 3.75 millimeters on the 4-inch tips with the Chowgoo red lace interchangeables. And these are some stitch stoppers I got from Yarnable a few years ago. So that is that one. It's slow going, but I think it's going to be nice and comfy when it gets finished. Then I picked up this sweater. This is a Sassy Sacks. I have 2 of these bags and I love them for sweaters. I'm using Knit Picks Stroll, and I have 3 colors. I'm using the Bear Undyed for the white. This color is Serene, and this one is Strawberry. And I did work on this last week and I brought it up here and I forgot to show it. So I was here 2 weeks ago. I had done 2 stripes and then I did 2 more stripes this week, and now I'm on to the bottom hem, the ribbing. I need to do a couple more rows and then I'm going to do the tubular bind off setup rounds and then bind off. Oh, looks like my husband's home. I'm gonna shut the door so he doesn't interrupt me. Okay, and I kind of shut the window so hopefully we don't hear him slamming stuff outside. He just took his dirt bike and went riding with my daughter and her boyfriend and their friends, and so he's just now getting back. So this is for my daughter. She asked for this one. She picked out the colors. She said she wanted red, white, and blue, and I'm pretty sure this is the same size I made for myself, and I think it does grow a little bit, because from here to here is only 8 inches. So I was here 2 weeks ago, did the 2 rows, And then I will come back and pick up the sleeves. This is knit on a size 2. Yes, size 2, 2.75 millimeter needle. And I knit this on the Cowboy red lace interchangeables. And these are the 4-inch tips. I'm making, I think I'm making the second size in this one. It is half fisherman's rib. I love how squishy this is. I love mine. I think that's all. It's a Stria cardigan by Andrea Mowry. I like to put the name of the project above my head for the entire time that I'm talking about the project, so just in case I forget at the beginning to tell you which project it is. So that's living in the Sassy Sacks. Then I worked on, in my notes it says this project. It is in my Summer Sock Camp 2024 that I got from the Crazy Sock Ladies spread shop for Summer Sock Camp that summer. And this is my Lily's Scrap Blanket by Jen Peck. Ooh! I dropped the yarn. This is the one I'm on right now. This is the Till Torch Knits December Solstice Countdown from 2023 and 2024. I started with day 21 on both of them, and I'm just alternating between the two because they were a fade. And now I'm on this color. I was right here last time, so I've done a few rounds. I really want to get some blankets finished so I can cast on some more blankets, because I have at least 2 or 3 more that I'm thinking about casting on, and I have 6 in progress right now. So I think I should probably finish at least 3 more before I cast on any. So I love the chevron stripes of this. This is knit on a US 5 3.75 millimeter, and I believe these are my 5-inch tips on Cowboy red lace. This is a fingering weight scrappy blanket that I'm using all of my little 20-gram minis from Till Torch Knits from the two December countdowns. And it's in this bag. I take it downstairs and it sits by my chair, and I put a couple rows in every few days and hopefully get some progress on it. When I get close to the next color, I'm like, oh, I just want to get to the next color. Let's see if I can get that one in. So that is the other blanket I worked on this week. The next thing I worked on was in this Redsldycreats bag. Let's see, here's her tag. I love her bags. They are so beautiful, nice colors. This I am using a skein of hand spun that I got from a fiber festival a while ago. Don't remember who spun it. I did not spin this. I'm not a spinner. But I bought a skein of hand spun yarn, and I am making the Jaunty by Andrea Mowry. This is also a half fisherman's rib pattern. I was about right here last time, I think. I can't remember if I moved the marker. If I didn't move the marker, then I was somewhere in here. but I got all the way to the decrease section. I knew I was close because you have to weigh your skein, and then when you have a little over 50%, about 55% of your yarn left, then you start the decreases. And my first decrease was right after I switched to this large pink section. So the first half is small stripes, and then I'm guessing the second half is going to be larger stripes, because there's a lot of this pink left before it switches to the next color. So I'm on the decrease rounds, so that is very motivating because it will just get smaller and smaller and smaller every single round that you do, every single row. And so right here is where we started the decreases. I think that's so fun that about halfway, I'm guessing halfway through the yarn was halfway through the shawl. And so this should be done soon also, because I'll probably get super motivated because the rows are getting smaller, and every single time you work on it, it doesn't take as long to do your next row. And then the last thing I worked on this yesterday. I thought, okay, I'm almost done. Let's weigh my yarn. Let's see how much I have left. I'll knit until I get to 10 grams left, and then I'll start the decreases. And this is the Musselburgh hat by Ysolda Teague. I was right here last time, and I had worked on it a little bit and then didn't show it for a while, and then picked it up yesterday morning and decided to work on it for a little bit. Started the decreases, and I have lost it, Yarn Chicken. I do not have enough to finish the decreases, and I don't think this is going to be a very tall hat, even if I did have enough to finish the decreases. Let's see. Well, maybe it would be just big enough. So I am going to frog this, and I will probably make the Midas hat instead. This was only 80 grams. I thought it was 100 grams gain, and I went back and I looked, and it is only, when I started it, I thought it was 100 grams gain. It is only an 80 grams gain. And so I did not have enough to finish. It's 100% alpaca, fingering weight 300 yards from Sewa Yarn Co. So I think I'm gonna frog it and do something different, because I will not be able to finish this project. I could frog back to before the decreases and start the decreases earlier, but I think I'm just gonna frog the whole thing. So that's where I'm at on that one. That turned out to be a not finished object today. I was hoping it would be finished, but it's not. It's going to be a frogged project. And that was the last thing that I had to show today. I didn't receive anything in the mail. Hopefully this month I only get my Mama Jess sock set. I did order the April sock set. She has that up on her Etsy shop right now as a ready to ship, and so when those are gone, they're gone. Then she has her May and June pre-orders up on her shop, and I ordered those. So I ordered 3 skeins of yarn, and they were the skeins that I have allowed myself to buy for this year, and I won't be getting anything else. I won't be ordering any more yarn or going to any more yarn shops the rest of this month. Next month I will be in Laramie, and I'm going to go to the, is it Cowgirl Yarn? Cowboy Yarn? Cowgirl Yarn shop in Laramie, and that is one of the stops on the Cowboy Yarn Crawl, so I will purchase some yarn there. Probably not a lot, maybe a lot, I don't know. Every time I go I end up spending more than I thought I would. So this month I should be able to knit out more than I receive, and or more than I buy, more than I get. So yeah. I don't think there was anything else. I took care of all of the yarn crawl stuff at the beginning, make-alongs at the beginning, and so I think I'm gonna sit and knit for a while on some of my Scarfie projects, see if I can get some more progress on some socks, and go visit my mom and my mother-in-law for Mother's Day. And until next week, happy knitting.